Today with us is All India Rank 1, Anuj Agnihotri.
In my first attempt, I got 111. Sir, in my second attempt, I got 98. I felt confident enough in my process of taking optional medical sciences. Although I have been advised by my seniors that you should
Take humanities.
PYQs have to be attempted. That is for sure. Motivation cannot be, and it is biologically proven that motivation isn't going to last forever. So something that has to be maintained or sustained, then it has to be discipline.
Hello everyone. Today with us is All India Rank 1, Anuj Agnihotri, who has secured CSE All India Rank 1. Many congratulations, Anuj.
Thank you so much.
It's a great feat to achieve.
Thank you.
So we'll start with a very basic question. How are you feeling? Kaisa lag raha hai?
Sir, at the moment, to be very frank, it is under processing, and I haven't had much time to think over it, and it hasn't synced.
Yes. It will take some time to actually go on, isn't it?
I feel so.
But it's a great achievement.
Thank you so
that to
much.
All India Rank 1. Acha, we'll start with the basic idea of understanding your journey. Say
Right.
it's a ride that we all know which comes with some ups, some downs. So how was your journey? Take us through it.
Right. So, sir, I started preparing for UPSC in 2022 when I was in internship. I completed my college in 2023 January. I gave my first attempt in 2023 itself, and was fortunate enough to have been allocated DANEX in my very first attempt. I
Okay.
was in reserve list. But by the time I was allocated the service, I had already given the second attempt, and I went to the interview stage in the second stage also. But then unfortunately couldn't make through.
Okay.
And it was my third attempt, and in which I, by God's grace, I think that I've been given All India Rank 1.
So Anuj, in 3 attempts, there have been 3 attempts that you have given to same UPSC
Right.
with the same subjects.
Sir.
What do you think your attempt changed in the third time,
So,
which was not there in second or first? But what I'm asking is how that journey evolved.
definitely, sir, when I was in my first attempt, it was a fresh attempt, and didn't had much of the guidance, or so to say, the nitty-gritties of the exam.
Yes.
So one has to improve over what one has already given, and the best experiences from own experience. And therefore, when I had written the mains myself for 2 years, so I got to know about my weaknesses and strengths, and I worked upon them both ways. And so I feel that in my third attempt, and I was also fortunate since I joined the services,
Yes.
and I was with a bunch of people who were all aspirants who had succeeded the UPSC exam. So
Yes.
they also gave my batchmates, they gave great inputs for different stages. So I'm thankful to them also.
Yeah.
And it was all a process.
Acha, Anuj, let's look at this GS papers,
Right.
which is one of the determining papers nowadays for the interview con. They generally say that this paper is more important, that paper is more important, this is lesser important. Do you feel anything like that, that any paper is lesser important than any other paper?
Sir, I have never ever thought in
Yes.
that terms, but I think that some of the papers out of the GS papers, or rather we should say the mains as a whole, one should prioritize definitely the optional, because it is something that would fetch you out of 500 marks. So it is a lot at the risk, and then definitely. Since the differentiator becomes the essay as well as the ethics paper, because if we look at the range in GS1 to GS3, it isn't much. So if one has to secure good rank, so one does have to work a lot on essay as well as ethics and optional too.
Okay. And Anuj, just to look at this essay paper and all, do you think essay is a paper which actually is a reflection of what you know entirely probably in your GS subjects and the optional and little bit of extracurricular reading, you can say?
Right. Sir, I have truly believed in that only, sir. It wasn't any preparation of that sort, like in a very strict manner of essay as we prepare for GS.
Right.
It was something that came very organic.
Yes.
It was completely based on the life experience, something which one is shaped by the values, the philosophy, and the things that we look around us also.
Right.
So it is largely a result of that only, sir.
Okay. And how has been your score in essay? They have been fluctuating like others, or has
Right.
it been consistent?
Sir, in my first attempt, I got 111. Sir, in my second attempt, I got 98,
Okay.
and I believe that in my third attempt, since I have got first rank, so I believe that it
Must be towards the
must
north.
be, surely.
No, definitely it would be north. Because essay plays a very, very important role, isn't it? Acha, Anuj, as we say that this exam preparation is also comprehensive.
Right.
ऐसा नहीं कि आप प्रीलिम्स की तैयारी अलग से करते हैं,
Sir.
मेंस की तैयारी अलग से करते हैं. तो did you also took a approach like that कि एक ओवरऑल तैयारी की जाए? उसके
Sir,
बाद
truly, sir, I have always seen the entire exam in holistic manner, and have prepared comprehensively. Be it mains or be it pre, the subject matter is the same. And although there are certain techniques or certain strategies that one has to plan for according to the exam, because the prelims is a different set of examination and there is subjectivity involved in means.
Right.
So one has to prepare the answer writing, and those aspects are definitely there. But as far as the content and subject matter is concerned, it is my personal opinion that it has to be prepared comprehensive.
Absolutely, because I think another point of understanding UP's essay is that things are connected. It is not in silos that you are understanding only polity and you're not able to understand ethics probably.
Right, sir.
So they are connected, right?
Definitely, sir. And in fact, it is very it does give dividend to prepare ethics in a manner in which we can involve inputs from other GS papers also.
Right. That interconnection of subjects is very, very important.
Definitely, sir.
Okay, tell me something. Is there a change in mentality also as you mature in the exam? I mean, the way you look at the first attempt,
right,
and the way you look at the third attempt.
Sir.
Many things changes, isn't
right,
it?
Sir, as I have also contemplated that entire UPSC journey is a very humbling experience, because if I now look in the hindsight, the mindset which I started was ki I have to crack IS only, and other services don't matter.
Yes.
But eventually, when you go through the process and when you go through that grueling journey,
yes,
you start believing that okay, other services are also great, and it would be very grateful of the God if I am allocated any of the services. But then it is an humbling experience, sir.
It is. Well, it makes you realize the reality also.
Right, sir.
It is not that you should always be at the top.
Right.
However, going through your DAF, because you were in the IGP, I read at that
right,
point
sir.
of time. Because you came online, I think, in the IGP. Right. I could not meet you there. But however, I saw your DAF. And I see that in the section of achievement, you have been one who has been always at the very top.
Fortunately, yes.
Fortunately, yes, but you have been with your hard work.
Right.
So we see that you have always been top. मतलब हमेशा से ऊपर. And at the same time, you come from a science background also. You have a degree in MBBS from AIMS Jodhpur.
Right, sir.
And you have taken medical science also as an optional.
Right.
But if you overall look at the UPSC exam, it is mostly a humanities subject-based exam.
Yes, sir.
How do you think a scientific mindset actually helps you tackle probably better the humanities subject?
Yeah. I would like to answer that in parts, sir.
Sure.
First of all, taking it rationally, if we look at the mains examination itself, 500 marks are being fetched by optional.
Yes.
And if someone is confident in their professional background or technical background,
yes,
they would definitely love to take those subjects in their as optional subjects. So I felt confident enough in my process of taking optional medical sciences. Although I have been advised by my seniors that you should
take humanities.
Yeah, that has been advised. And in fact, to some extent, I would also suggest the people who are coming, the juniors one, that if there is an opportunity, you should definitely explore other subjects. In my case, it was the done case. I started preparing full-fledgedly towards the very end of my college. So I didn't had that opportunity, that luxury of time to explore other subjects. But as far as science background is concerned, sir, as we were talking about interconnections, so this is something I feel that a person from technical backgrounds gets to do very well. And the interconnections that they develop between humanities and science technicalities, and also in between the subjects of humanities itself. So that is something that helps.
Okay. And Anuj, how far have you used PYQs to prepare for this exam?
Definitely, sir. I would say that PYQs are the holy grail for UPSC. And PYQs have to be attempted, be it for means, be it for prelims, because it is the key to the mindset of the interviewer, to the examiner who is going to ask the UPSC questions. So that is the key on which you should base your strategy. You should base your priorities. You should base your content also, because what is being asked in the exam is definitely something that is going to decide what you are going to study next.
Right. So understanding the very trend and the themes and the topics which are coming in UPSC gives you kind of a key to unlock the minds of the question makers.
Right.
Isn't it? And I think that is how it is to be used. Do you think the PYQs of both prelims as well as mains are equally important?
Right, sir. Because one has to, there would be chances that you would be attempting the PYQs of prelims to a larger extent. There would not be possibility that in mains you would be able to attempt such level of questions. And definitely that ask is big in the when it comes to mains.
Yes.
And one has to prioritize the current affairs, the questions that have been going in the current part also. But PYQs have to be attempted. That is for sure.
No, why I asked you this question is because in the main exam, we see good part of the topic which are asked in previous year questions do get repeated.
Right.
I mean, let's talk about GS2 and we see that judicial activism has always been a question on and off, question from elections on and off, question from constitutional philosophy on and off. So we see questions being repeated multiple times in the main exam.
Right,
however, in prelim exam, we might not see the rate of repetition.
Right, sir.
So keeping that in mind, the students who are listening to you, how would you guide them to look at the PYQs or probably the prelims with a different set of eyes and also at mains with a different set of eyes?
Yes, sir. So, sir, starting with the prelims, we can look at the current affairs aspect. Like if we start checking, today is 2026, right now we are in 2026. If we start looking up at exams of 2015 or let's say even before that, there would certainly be some questions that would be asked pertaining to the current affairs of that time. But that would give us a hint as to what things are being asked. Like the questions related to if someone has, let's say if some CJI has resigned, if some judge has resigned. So the question pertaining to that part would be asked. Like recently there were questions about impeachment process, and since these things were in current affairs, so one has to look the static and dynamic part in a sync, and the interconnections that we were talking. So the interconnection between the static and dynamic part has to be there.
Right. So basically, it is more about how do you understand the PYQs to be implemented in the prelims and mains exam. Right. Okay, let's come to your optional, which is medical science.
Sir.
You already come with a background of medical science itself. So tell me something. How much time did you took to cover the syllabus entirely? And because you took something which was in your background, did it give you an edge over not only the optional, but to use that little leftover of time to probably master your GS?
Sir, I would share it completely through my experience. Yes. And in fact, when I wrote the optional in my very first attempt, the very same day, I was talking to some of my senior, and I said that I won't be attempting the second attempt with the same optional because it is so tough and it is so tough to revise in those limited period of time since 19 subjects are being asked. So it is, I used to think that it isn't humanly possible to even revise that. But over the time, sir, I regained the confidence that I had over my optional subject, and I used to think that this is something that I have prepared over the time, over 5.5 years in my college. So I would be most confident, even if something is asked that I haven't prepared directly, I would be able to answer it in some way or the other, since I have read that over the time.
Okay. So because you get a little bit of confidence, a platform that I know this subject, so I will be able to do justice with it, right? Okay, great. Let's shift a little bit to the prelims because it is overhead only. Hardly 60 days to go. There are many students looking forward to your suggestions. So students in front of you, what would you tell them to look for in the prelims exam right now? What shall be done in the next 60 days?
Right. So I would definitely suggest my friends that PYQs should be the holy grail. One has to complete the PYQs at first. One has to understand, and PYQs have to be attempted and re-attempted, because once you attempt it, it is most likely that the memory would fade off. One has to re-attempt it, especially the static part among the PYQs, because that tends to get repeated, although with a lower frequency, but it does. After that, one has to judiciously use mocks, and mocks do play a great role in prelims, because it not only gives you confidence of attempting the exam, but also improves your knowledge base altogether. So that is something that I would suggest. And then keep believing in yourself, because prelims is increasingly becoming unorthodox, and questions from multiple avenues are being asked. Like sports has been a theme that has been asked recently to a great extent. So one has to be updated with the current affairs. I used to follow the habit of reading newspaper every single day. And current affairs definitely has to be prioritized of possibly starting with the previous year, and if the luxury of time is there, so one can go to the last 2 years also. But these three things, I believe that PYQs, mocks, and current affairs should be the priorities.
Okay. One last question on the academic side. You come from medical background, sir, and I believe to a larger extent the mental status of a medical student and that of a humanities based student
Right, sir.
vis-a-vis CSAT
Sir.
is almost similar. कि यार
Right, sir.
मैथ तो किया नहीं है,
Sir.
अब इसको कैसे देखना है?
Sir.
So how did you look at that CSAT paper?
Right, sir. So speaking of my own experience, I was a bit, or I should rather say that I was quite over confident about CSAT because I always thought that my CSAT would be great, and I had only attempted a few PYQs, few year PYQs, and I thought that I am great at CSAT. But the very 2023 attempt, and
Yes.
it was really tough.
I remember the
was,
question
yeah,
paper.
the paper was really tough, and that genuinely humbled me, and it made me think my strategy twice. And from the subsequent attempts, I started dedicating sufficient time for CSAT also. I started allocating time for building upon my strengths. And let's say
Yes.
that someone who is from humanities and haven't read maths, and so questions based on quant are being asked. So it won't be easy for someone who is from humanities, or let's say from my
Very
background
true,
also.
very true, very
Yeah. So, but then there are other ample opportunities also. One can build upon their strengths on
true.
English.
The comprehension
Yeah,
part.
comprehension part can be built upon, and then there are logical reasoning questions and so. So if one feels confident in those aspects, then it could be like the trade-off could be made, no?
True, true. I think it is all about realizing your strengths and weaknesses.
Surely, sir.
मैथ में काम नहीं चल रहा है तो comprehension strengthen करता है,
Right.
right? Okay, let's leave academics for a moment. Let's come to some things which are really important. Like this is a journey which is full with motivation and sometimes also little setback.
Right, sir.
I'm sure that must have happened to you also.
Right.
कि यार कहाँ जा रहे हैं,
Right.
right? So how did you handle it?
Right, sir. Sir, I have always believed that motivation is something that is inevitably going to end. Because motivation cannot be, and it is biologically proven that motivation isn't going to last forever.
Yes.
So something that has to be maintained or sustained, then it has to be discipline.
Yes.
And if you have decided a goal, then one has to continue with the hard work that you have already thought, the strategy that you have planned, and one has to keep going, the perseverance that we hold.
Yes.
But sir, I would at the very same time also suggest that it is not something that should become a burnout moment, or the journey shouldn't become that tough. So for that thing, one has to include the element of entertainment in daily routine. One has to find time to talk to their near and dear ones, so that because that gives a soothing effect that calms
True,
you down
true,
and
true,
you
true,
calms
very
your
true.
nerves.
So what worked for you? I mean, definitely the support from family.
Right,
That
sir.
I can see a big one.
बिल्कुल
So
sir.
वो तो जरूरी है.
बिल्कुल sir.
So how do you think parents have always been there with you?
Right, sir.
So how do you think that little support which comes emotionally
Sir.
helps you to go through those days जहाँ पे चीजें सही नहीं चल रही हैं?
Sir. Sir, speaking of my experience, I have always felt that I have been very, very fortunate that my parents, speaking of people, have been congratulating me that you have worked so hard and this is your success. But I have always felt that my parents are someone who have worked even harder than me, and it was equally their success and their hard work that has materialized today.
True.
And therefore, sir, there would definitely come moments in this journey, no matter how successful you are, because I have considered that I have subsequently succeeded in prelims, mains, and interviews I have given over the years.
Yes.
But then the uncertainty associated with it would definitely take you down,
Yes.
and there would be moments which would make you rethink your decisions. And
True.
at those very moments, you need something to cling upon, and definitely the
So
parental
to
relationship.
reassure also that
Yeah, sir,
ठीक
definitely.
है सब सही चल रहा है,
Right,
isn't it? अच्छा, Anuj, let's come to this part. The very idea of probably the engagement of the people, the students right now into social media.
Sir.
I didn't see you.
Sir.
Actually, I didn't see you at most of the places.
Right, sir.
So, what do you think? How do you see it?
Sir.
What is your take on it? I'm not trying to say that don't get into social media,
Yes,
get
sir.
into social media. But someone who has secured a All India rank 1, you understand there are n number of distractions. कोई कमी तो है नहीं.
Sir.
So, how you did not get into it, and what was your idea behind
Sir.
it?
Sir, so I come from a very old school mindset, and I have always believed that social media, and so to say, the distractions associated with social media
Right.
and preparation cannot go all together. Because, giving my experience only, I was quite active on all the social media apps in my college days, as is the case with everyone. And but once I decided that I would be preparing from my home, I decided to completely shut off the social circle that I had. I deleted all the apps. I even deleted my WhatsApp. And that is something that allowed me to be in the moment that I am.
Yes.
And but I won't be giving it as a tight jacketed advice. Something that works for me won't necessarily work for you. If someone finds happiness and someone finds that little entertainment in some social media, then they would they should definitely use that. But one has to be mindful of the fact that it is used in the correct way. It is used in the right way, sir.
So how come you use, if you're not using social
Right,
media,
sir.
did you not even use internet for current affairs and all?
No, sir. Internet is something that I lived my preparation upon.
Okay.
And I had used the free resources immensely over the internet, be it YouTube, be it the Telegram based
Yes.
resources. So I used it immensely, sir.
Yeah, that is needed because
Right.
that is what keeps you connected,
Definitely,
isn't it?
sir.
Okay, so Anuj, now we see you watch a lot of cricket.
Right, sir.
That's what you say.
Right, sir.
I hope you are following the matches right now.
Definitely,
also,
sir.
isn't it?
And sir, it's today or tomorrow, sir, the
I
final
think
matches.
Today or tomorrow? I
No,
also
sir.
don't know. Tomorrow. I think.
Tomorrow, right, sir. I am completely looking forward to it.
Yeah, all of us we are
Sir.
looking forward to it. So Anuj, then just tell me a few things. There has been a good 3-year experience
Right,
behind
sir.
your journey. In the 3 years, you must have learned some do's
Sir.
and definitely some don'ts.
Sir.
Let's try telling our students what are the do's and don'ts, because only dreaming of becoming All India rank 1 is not everything.
Sir.
To become one, you have to actually follow a routine,
Sir.
isn't it?
Definitely.
As you say,
Sir.
motivation chala jayega, discipline rahega.
Right, sir.
What are those do's and don'ts which
Sir.
worked for you and you think
Sir.
to a larger extent will work for others also?
Right, sir. Sir, as far as the do's are considered, I have always felt that before even starting the very first step in the UPSC journey, one has to be very clear of the motivation, or so to say, the reasoning behind why you want to go to UPSC and why do you want to aspire for civil services. Because this is something that you would question again and again, and this question would keep coming you when you are in the low phase of your life,
Yes.
in the journey. And that thing that would definitely motivate you, that would try to make you work even harder. So one has to be clear with the goal that you want to achieve and why do you want to achieve. So that is the first step. Secondly, sir, I would say that if you are new to the world of UPSC, you should definitely take guidance, be it any mentor, be it someone from your family, be it someone from your college alumni, be it someone of your senior, or if you are comfortable, you can go for coachings. I'm not promoting anything, but I would say that guidance is definitely needed, because as the exam is changing, a lot of complexity is coming in, and one does need to take the guidance and understand the very nature of the exam. Once you are familiar with the nature of the exam, then I think that self-study can work.
Right.
And in fact, I have also worked a lot on self-study. But if you are comfortable and if you are ready with the strategy that you are going to follow,
Yes.
and the resources are there, so then you can chart your own path. As far as, sir, don'ts are considered, sir, I would say that don't question your decision to join UPSC. Once you are in the journey, you should be full-fledgedly aiming for your goal, and no matter the setbacks, you should definitely march for the goals. And another thing that I can think, that I believe that that can come in the do's. Although if we go 5 years back, I would have suggested something else. But it is something that I believe that backup option should be there.
Yes.
And I also consider myself very fortunate to have pursued medical sciences.
So you already had a natural backup
Yeah,
ready for
so
you.
that backup option was there, and that gives a level of comfort whenever you are facing something. So at least we have something to fall back to.
True, I think that gives you a kind of a shock absorber.
Right, sir.
कि कुछ नहीं होगा तो एक career तो है ही.
बिल्कुल, sir.
तो plan B should always be a part of plan A itself.
Right, sir.
However, UPSC, if you are committed enough, gives you the right result also.
Right,
I
sir.
have seen that years after years with thousands of students,
Right, sir.
that the one who were entirely committed, one way or the other way,
Right, sir.
they got into it,
Right, sir.
isn't it? So Anuj, I think that was a great interaction with
Thank you
you.
so much.
There's a token of appreciation from our side for you,
Thank you so
because
much.
you are the one who will be guarding our constitution,
Thank you so much.
becoming the steel frame of
Thank you,
India. So all the very best.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in great governance efforts.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.